in India and abroad. Goyal Brothers Prakashan has been conducting seminars, workshops, and webinars for principals, teachers, educationists, students, and parents on various educational and non-educational topics like change in syllabus, exam pattern, career guidance, parenting, pedagogy, coding classes, usage of technology, cyber security, general awareness program, and many more. We have conducted many hundreds of webinars with about 1 million participants in the last 3 years. The technology arm of Goyal Brothers Prakashan. Bright Tutee provides online digital learning content for the K-12 level in a variety of languages for more than 20 educational boards in all of the major subjects.
Good evening to all the participants present here. Goyal Brothers Prakashan would like to welcome you all. We have with us today our subject matter expert, author Vaishali Jan, ma'am. Ma'am, we welcome you in this webinar.
Thank you, sir. Let me just present my screen.
You can start the webinar now.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Just give me a second. I'm just pressing F5. Yeah. So, very warm welcome to all the teachers and students present here. So I hope you know that today's webinar is on how to prepare for semester 2 examination for the upcoming exams. The basic content, that is the flow of the webinar is going to be, we'll be discussing the specimen paper of the semester 2 in very short brief, because I hope that you all must have gone through it. Then we'll be discussing the roadmap or strategy. That is the main focus of today's webinar, that how to prepare the exams. Today is 10th of March. And we are expecting the exam of economics on 20th of May, right? So how to go through it, what should be the flow, how to prepare for the exam. What are the tips and tricks, how to get 90% plus. So we'll just go through it. So before we begin with the basic roadmap and the topic that we eagerly waiting for, that how the even if we have lost a lot of time, then also how can we make up to get maximum marks in the remaining time. So before we go to the main topic, we'll just brush up a few facts, that the second semester exam is in last week of April. We have the date sheet. I'll show you the date sheet just after a few slides. It is a subjective exam. Syllabus for second semester for the exam for ICSE is Unit 4, Banking in India. In Banking in India, we have commercial bank, central bank. In central bank, we have the topic demonetization as well. Then we have introduction to public finance, public revenue, public expenditure, public debt. Then we have Unit 5, inflation, and then we have Unit 6, consumer awareness. Then what are the sections of the paper? So I hope you know that the time allowed is 1.5 hours, which is exclusive of reading time. You will be getting 10 minutes for reading. Maximum marks which you're going to get in the upcoming exams are 40. So there are two sections in the exam, section A and section B. Section A is having 10 questions, 10 questions, 10 marks, 1 marks each. All questions are compulsory in section A. There is no choice. There's no internal choice. And all the questions of section A are MCQ based. You can click the screenshots also in between, if in case you feel like that we might not able to recall it at the end. So you can just keep on clicking the screenshots in between. Then we have section B. Section B is of 30 marks. So there are basically going to be 5 questions, out of which you have to attempt any 3. So we have each question having 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, of 2, 2, 3, 3 marks each. There is no choice in each part of the question. I'll just explain it to you. What does it mean? So basically, there are 5 questions in B section, out of which you have to attempt 3. Each question is having 4 parts in itself, 1, 2, 3, 4, of 2, 2, 3, and 3 marks. I'll just show you how. So see, if we see, this is one of the specimen papers. So you have to, if you can see clearly, this is section A, 10 marks, attempt all questions. So the 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. Over here we have 4 parts. Over here we have 3 more parts. And over here we have 3 more parts. So all the 10 parts are compulsory. And you can clearly see all the 10 parts are MCQ based questions only. So you're not supposed to copy the questions. You're supposed to write the correct answers only. So we have the answers also for the same. If you want, again, I can show you the screen and you can click the screenshot of the same. Dash is meant for day-to-day transactions. What does public finance deals with? Which of the following is never returned by the government, although it pays the interest thereon regularly? So irredeemable debts are never returned. Which of the following refers to a situation where prices rise very slowly? So that is creeping inflation. Which of the following fund is repayable by the government after a fixed period of time? So that is definitely redeemable debt. When do we celebrate National Consumers Day? Every one of us knows, 24th of December. So I hope section A is very much clear to you. Just let us go to section B also now. So see, if you will see now in section B, we have attempt any 3 questions. So we have question number 2 having 4 parts, 2, 2, 3, 3. Similarly, question number 3, 4 parts, 2, 2, 3, 3 marks. Similarly, we have 4, 5, and 6. So out of these 5 questions, you can choose any 3 questions, but the question in itself is going to be attempted in full capacity. Supposingly, if you attempt question number 2, then you will attend all 4 parts of the question. List 2 advantages of saving bank account. What do you mean by moral persuasion? Describe 3 differences between public finance and private finance. What is the importance of public expenditure in promoting economic development? Now, supposingly, I decide to skip question number 3, then I'm going to skip the all 4 parts altogether. And I hope it is very much visible that the questions are straightforward. Just a little bit of tweaking. So the questions are very straightforward, simple questions are there. If the concepts are clear, you will be able to, answer the questions very, very properly. So this is the link of the ebook. We'll be sending you into the chat box soon enough. And I'll be sending this link in the chat box from where you can access the book, which will give you all the glimpse. Okay, if you guys have seen, this is the date sheet. This is how the date sheets look like. From 25th of April, we are beginning with the exams. And on 20th of May, we have economics exam. So what I generally assume is that right now students are studying all the subjects. And each teacher end up emphasizing on their own subject. All of us want you to secure the best in the subject. But for you, you have to secure in all the subjects. So I'll be telling you a small, planner kind of thing, which you can definitely tweak according to yourself and which will really help you out in getting 100% marks. So if I look at the date sheet, if my first exam is on 20th of April, then I really assume that by 18th, 20th, or by 22nd, somewhere around like 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 days, depending upon individual to individual, we'll stop studying any other subject and then we will focus subject-wise only. So today is 10th of March and the exams, if I assume that on an average, students from on 21, 22, 23, and 24 are going to be studying only English. So till 20th, I can assume I have 40 days left. All the figures are approximate. They might be 41, they might be 39, approximate, 1 day plus minus. So it's approximate figure that we are left with 40 days. If we are left with 40 days, now how to divide? This is the problem. That we really want to study, we really want to work hard, but we don't know what is to be done. We don't know how to figure it out. We feel like the time is very less now and we won't be able to get anywhere. And because of that, we end up not studying at all and even procrastinating things more and more. So this is a small, if you will really follow it, this is a small roadmap and strategy to really get. If you will follow this kind of schedule, you can definitely tweak in the chapters. You can definitely alter it as per your own planner and every else thing apart from this. But I'm really expecting that after today's session, when the session will end, you guys will be really, geared up to, do the best of it. That today we have got the kind of planner which will really help us in getting 40 on 40. And we'll sit today and we'll actually abide to it. We'll just, go to it. So let's just start. So see, this is how I have made the kind of planner. So if we have, I just have shown you, if we have 20 days of studying and 20 days of revision, so let's devise these 40 days, that how we can plan these 40 days. And trust me, the kind of planner I have made, if you'll really execute it, it's very easy to execute, and you'll have ample of time to study all the other subjects as well. Because I really understand that economics is not the only subject that you guys have. You have other subjects as well. So you'll be needing to brush up other subjects too. You'll be needing time to study all the subjects. In between, you have classes, you have papers, and everything else going on. So over here, now again, there might be some people who cannot sit for long hours. There might be some people who are not that good enough in remembering the things and learning the things. Some might do it in 1.5 hours, some might take 2. So I have kept a roundabout, considering the different classes of people we have. Even when I was a student, I remember there used to be a lot of friends of mine who used to end up doing a lot of exercises in, like, let's say 45 minutes. And a lot of time it used to happen, I might be doing it in 70 minutes. So definitely this varies. So that is not an issue. Every person has their own capacity, right? So when we'll start, let's plan up. I have just kept the order of the chapters as per the syllabus. The way the syllabus is given, I have kept it in the same order, but you can definitely rearrange it, right? And also I'll just repeat this thing again, that I have kept enough amount of break for you all. That if you'll feel like we need a break from studying, we might have a wedding to attend, we might go to a movie as well, we might like to chill with the family. So you can just tweak your days accordingly. Let's say if I say that on day 1, that is, let's say tomorrow, day 1 I have given to commercial bank. So I'm pretty much sure that if you will spend somewhere around 1.5 to 2.5 hours on this chapter commercial bank, that's going to be enough for you. Okay, over there, if you see in the corner, there are 2 more boxes which are writing concept, clarity, and practice. So this is what you need to do now. When you are starting the chapter, make sure the concept of each and every line is clear to you if you really want to secure full marks, or if you're really looking to get good marks. If you have not started studying till today, trust me, if you still are on 0, trust me, you can still get full marks. This is for teachers as well. This kind of planner is for teachers as well, that students a lot of times expect somebody to plan for them. So teachers can also guide the students like this, so that this will really help them in preparing and getting full marks. So we have first, that is commercial banks. So I'm expecting you to spend somewhere around 2.5 hours and to focus on concept clarity, as well as practice a few questions of the same. Then we have day 2. I've kept the day 2 for central bank, that is demonetization. So we are done with this unit. Then we have the next unit. So I have given a 1-day break, because sometimes it happens that after studying a unit, we feel like not switching. And somebody who is studying regularly, or who can wind up 2 to 3 chapters in 1 day, that is also definitely fine. Again, I'm telling you, this is just a sampler. This is just a hypothetical timetable. You can make your own. Those who are unable to make for themselves, they can follow this. Then we have day 4, that is introduction to public finance. Then we have day 5, public revenue. Then we have day 6, public expenditure. Then we have day 7, public debt. Now, after studying for 4 chapters, that is a whole unit, I have given you a break of 2 days. Then again, in this, you have to make sure now that when you are giving this much time to this much, you will definitely make your concepts crystal clear, and then practice a few questions for sure. You need to write it down with your hand. You need to write down a few questions by your hand. Then we have a break of 2 days. Then again, I've given 3 days, ample amount of time for inflation. And then again, we have kept a break of 2 days in which you might study economics, you might not study economics, you might practice papers, you might not practice. It's up to you. That's just a planner. Then we have day 15 and 16 for consumer awareness. And then day 17 to 20, you can again recapitulate the whole of the concepts. So if today is 10th of March and you guys start studying immediately after this webinar, then I'm assuming by 10th of April, by 31st of March, by 30th of March, 30th or 31st of March, you will be thoroughly, and if you will see the kind of break we have given and the kind of way we have planned, each and every concept is gonna be so clear to you that nobody can take away your marks. Now comes, and what is to be done from 1st of April? So from 1st of April, we'll go for the revision. If you can see here, REVISION, revision. So for the revision part also, I've kept 2 hours per day. Now it can definitely vary. Some might take 1.5 hours, some might take 2.5 also. So what we're gonna do? On day 1 and 2, we're gonna read all the previous year questions of at least 18, 19, 20. If more, that is also good. Let's say you can go for 15, 16, 17 as well. Then that's not a problem. Then we're gonna practice. Then on day 3 and 4, we're gonna actually handwrite. We're gonna write the answers and we're gonna practice the previous year questions. And after that, it's all about mock test. You're gonna give as much as mock test as possible. Okay, so there is one more thing I would like to share with you with whatever little and more experience that I have. That is, we give a lot of mock tests of a lot of subjects, but a lot of time it happens that then too, after that also, we are disappointed. Do you know what is the reason for it? That why are we disappointed? That despite giving so many mock tests, despite having so much of revision, so much of everything, we do not end up having the kind of expected marks that we were expecting. So the basic reason for that is the word written after mock test, that is follow-up. We do not do that. This is not just only for economics, this is for all the subjects, but specifically for economics, I'll also talk about. It is very, very, very necessary for you to follow up. And how do we follow up? Once you have given a mock test, make sure it is checked by someone. The process does not end there. Mock test is given within the time schedule, properly given the way it has to be done. It is done, fine, good enough. We have get it checked. Let's say I was thinking I might get 31, 32 and I got 29 out of 40. Or maybe I was thinking 35 and I got 30. So then what is the next step? The next step is to actually, if you can see, mock test is of 1.5 hours, and I am pretty sure you're gonna end up doing a mock test in 1 to 1.25 hours. Somewhere around in 70 to 80 minutes, majority of you will be done with your mock test. I am sure about that. If not, then 90 minutes to definitely is the time limit anyhow. So what is the step? Next step, once you have given the mock test, after giving the mock test, make sure, like without religiously just make sure that you find out all the flaws you have done and all the answers in which you have flaws, you write it down again and you get it checked again. This is the one biggest mistake that we people do not do. Because in exam, when the same question will come again, we will again end up writing. If I've got like 1.5 or 2 marks out of 3, there must be some reason behind it. And I'll end up writing the same thing in exam. So we need to have the mock test plus follow-up. So we have done this. If you will see, for one mock test, I've given 2 days. But even if you are giving the mock test of other subjects as well. So I've kept the leverage of that. So on 5 and 6, the same process. Then 7 and 8, the same process. Then 9 and 10, the same process. Then I've kept 2 days off. Then after giving 3 to 4 mock tests, we are a lot of times exhausted and we want some break. Then on those 2 days, whatever follow-ups you have done, then you can definitely analyze from it that what are the chapters on which you are majority lacking. Which are the chapters in which you felt that are the most problematic chapters. So for day 11 and 12, we have kept for those. Then day 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, the same process. And then again, 19, 20, revision again. So by this, I assume that you will end up, there might be some who might do 3 to 4 or 6 mock tests. There might be some who might do 10, 12 or 15 mock tests. It totally depends upon you. This is just a sampler for every kind of person over here. So I hope these 3 slides are going to be the most beneficial slides for you out of today's webinar, because we have the studying planner as well as the revision planner with appropriate time and appropriate gap to study all the subjects together with the aim of getting 40 on 40 in economics or securing the target scores that we have in our mind. Now, how to write your examination and secure 90% plus. So when writing the exam, economics is one of the subject that definitely requires that what is asked in the question. So you definitely have to analyze while writing a mock test, while revising, that what is asked in the question and how much marks it contains. Then do not think too much about the question before writing. Do not waste, too much of time on one question only. That I guess all of you know already. If you're stuck on a question, just skip it and move ahead. Otherwise, just leave it over there. You can leave the space over there and switch to the next question. Okay, children, one more small advice to you all is, let's say if you're attempting question number 2, third part, then make sure all the 4 parts of question number 2 are attempted put together. You can shuffle the questions. I can attempt question number 2, 4, and 3 in the order, but whatever parts of each question are there, it is suggested that you attempt those parts together. Then we have use easy language. Yes. If you have the conceptual clarity, it is quite visible in the simple language as well. It is not mandatory for you to use very heavy vocabulary. It's just that if we'll go by the revision planner and everything that we have discussed, concepts are going to be clear to you, and then you just write out the answers. If in case there are any formulas or any diagrams or anything is there, then it is always advised to go for it. Do not manage your time and spare some time for checking. Please make sure that if we have a 90 minutes examination, then in the reading time, you utilize those reading time also wisely. And at the end, you at least spare and give yourself 10 to 15 minutes. A lot of time it happens that we might skip out on some questions and we do not even realize that. And while revising, we definitely see. So make sure you do revise the exam. Things to avoid before the exams. Putting off study until last minute. Please stop procrastinating. Do not procrastinate for things for tomorrow. Kal kare so aaj kar, aaj kare so ab. So the same thing applies. Do not leave the things for tomorrow. Do it today itself. Whatever you plan, do it today. Over cramming the night before the exam. Yes, I know a lot of us have the habit of doing this, that we, before the night of exam, we all are studying like anything, mugging up the concepts. So I personally advise that if the exam is at 8 o'clock, hypothetically assuming, and for that I have to get up at 6:30, then I should be asleep 8 hours before. That is by 10:30 I should be. By 10 o'clock, I should be onto my bed with a relaxed mind and be asleep by 11 at the max. So that I get up at 6:30, get ready, and go for the exam peacefully and calmly. Do not compare your preparations. This is one thing that all of us do a lot at each and every level. Oh my God, you're studying this? You're studying this book? You're studying that paper? You're studying that? No. Make your own planner. Stick to it. You might take guidance from someone, but getting deviated from your own plan by looking onto others' preparation is not healthy. So concentrate on your own preparation and your own techniques rather than comparing them with anyone around you. Do not refer any new book at the last time. Right now, if you want, we will send you the link of the Goel brothers book, which will help you in getting through the last minute exams. The book is having the summaries, the question bank, the variety of each questions. Then there are sample papers, there's specimen paper as well, issued by the council. So we have each and everything. and don't be late for your exam. That is one of the things that really, puts our mind off, even though we are prepared very nicely. Make sure you reach on time. It doesn't matter if you reach 10 minutes early. It's better to have a relaxed mind than a hustle mind. So that's all from my end. So if you have any queries, you can please write us at marketing@goel-books.com. Also, I would like to take the queries now. So you can write your queries in the chat box.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, we will take questions if there are any. Participants can write down questions in the chat box.
Can we unmute them?
Yeah, ma'am, we can. But I don't think so there are any questions, ma'am. Right, ma'am. All clear, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you to all the participants who were present here.